Welcome back to the Chad DiMera channel. The Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of July 20 to July 24 are officially out, and they are completely heartbreaking. Tate Black and Holly Jonas are officially breaking up, and it is all thanks to a sickening, calculated plot by EJ DiMera. Can you believe it? Here is exactly what goes down. At the hospital, Tate is going to go digging through Holly's bag. Why is he snooping? We will get to that psychological mess in a second. But while he is rummaging around, he finds a stash of pills. These pills were deliberately planted by EJ to make Holly look like a hardcore drug addict. Tate, instead of trusting the girl he supposedly loves, teams up with Dr. Sarah Horton to brutally confront Holly. Holly is going to be absolutely horrified by these false accusations, fiercely maintaining her innocence and insisting she only takes her prescribed antidepressants. But Tate refuses to believe her, and his blatant lack of trust is the final nail in the coffin. Holly dumps him, and honestly, I don't blame her one bit. Let's be real for a second and talk about EJ DiMera. The spoilers say EJ feels a tiny bit of guilt for setting up a teenage girl, but ultimately decides it is necessary to protect DiMera Enterprises. A tiny bit of guilt? Are you kidding me? This is a legacy character, the daughter of Nicole Walker and the late Daniel Jonas, and EJ is just using her as collateral damage! We all know exactly why EJ is doing this. He is desperately trying to cover up the massive, lethal scandal involving DiMera Pharmaceuticals and the arsenic-laced Coraceal pills he buried on Smith Island. Sarah and Brady have been investigating the tragic death of Sarah's patient, Destiny, and EJ needs a smokescreen. By framing Holly as an addict, he creates the perfect distraction. This is classic Stefano DiMera behavior, folks. EJ is fully transforming into the monster his father was, playing God with people's lives without a second thought. I think this was a huge mistake, because framing a teenager is a line you just do not cross. As the creator of the Chad DiMera channel, I have to point out the glaring difference between the two DiMera brothers right now. Chad would never ever stoop this low. Chad is the true moral center of that family, fighting to protect his children and build a legacy of honor. Meanwhile, EJ is out here acting like a comic book villain, destroying innocent lives to protect his bottom line. A lot of fans think EJ is just doing what he has to do as a CEO, but I'm telling you, it's definitely just pure, unfiltered evil. It makes my blood boil. Chad needs to step up and completely overthrow his brother before EJ burns the entire DiMera empire to the ground. How can anyone defend EJ after this? He is orchestrating a cover-up that is ruining a young girl's reputation and shattering her first real love story. It is absolutely despicable. Now, let's pivot to Tate Black. What on earth is going through this boy's head? Why is he snooping through Holly's bag in the first place? To understand Tate's massive betrayal, we have to look at his legacy roots. Tate is the son of Brady Black and Teresa Donovan. Addiction runs incredibly deep in his DNA. Brady has struggled with substance abuse for decades, and Teresa's past is riddled with her own demons. Tate has grown up in the shadow of addiction, which has clearly left him with some severe psychological trauma and paranoia. When he sees those pills, he doesn't see a setup. He sees his family's worst nightmare repeating itself. He projects all of his deep-seated fears onto Holly. But here's the kicker. That does not excuse his behavior. You do not go digging through your girlfriend's purse, and you certainly don't ambush her with a doctor without giving her the benefit of the doubt. And speaking of the doctor, let's talk about Sarah Horton's involvement in this horrific confrontation. Sarah is a brilliant physician, but she is being played like an absolute fiddle by EJ DiMera! Sarah is currently crusading for justice over the death of her patient, Destiny, who overdosed on that tainted Coraceal. EJ knows Sarah is relentless, especially now that she has secretly enlisted Xander Cook to help her dig into the DiMera drug ring. By planting these pills on Holly and ensuring Tate finds them at the hospital, EJ is masterfully manipulating Sarah. He is handing her a fake culprit on a silver platter, hoping she will focus her medical and investigative energy on saving Holly rather than exposing DiMera Enterprises. It is a brilliant, twisted plot twist, but I am so angry that Sarah is falling. Wake up, Sarah. You are looking at the wrong addict. My heart completely breaks for Holly Jonas in all of this. Think about what this poor girl has been through over the last few years. She has been the victim of relentless bullying, surviving the toxic psychological warfare waged by Sophia Choi. She has dealt with the grief of losing her mother Nicole to the Paris move and navigating life in Salem as a legacy teen. And now, she is being gaslit by the most powerful man in town and abandoned by the boy she trusted with her heart. When Holly looks at Tate and realizes he genuinely believes she is a lying drug addict, that is a profound emotional trauma. The lack of faith is what kills the relationship. She is standing there, screaming her innocence, and the person who is supposed to be her safe harbor is looking at her like she's a criminal. That is crazy. No wonder she dumps him. Good for her for standing her ground and knowing her worth. So, what happens next? Will Tate and Holly ever have a chance to get back together? What do you guys think? Is this the end of their epic teen romance? Let's dive into some fan theories. In the soap opera world, a breakup based on a misunderstanding is the classic setup for a massive slow burn reunion. Eventually, the truth about EJ planting those pills is going to come out. Brady Black is stepping up his PI game with Black Patch, and Xander is sniffing around the DiMera secrets. Once they trace the arsenic-laced Coruscant back to Smith Island, EJ's house of cards will collapse. And when it does, the truth about Holly's innocence will be exposed in a spectacular fashion. When that glorious day comes, Tate Black is going to have to do the biggest groveling session in the history of Days of Our Lives. He is going to realize how spectacularly he failed the girl he loves. But I don't want Holly to make it easy for him. She needs to make him work for it. We are looking at a classic slow burn reconciliation that could take months, maybe even stretching into the winter sweeps. Tate will have to prove that he has conquered his inherited paranoia and that he can trust her implicitly. They are a legacy pairing, the next generation of Salem royalty, so I do believe they are endgame. But this betrayal is a deep wound, and the scar is going to take a very long time to heal. This entire storyline is a masterclass in soap opera tragedy. EJ's ruthless ambition is destroying the innocence of the younger generation, and the ripple effects are going to be felt across the Horton, Black, and DiMera families for years to come. I am fiercely on Team Holly here, and I cannot wait to see EJ get exactly what is coming to him. Hopefully, Chad will be the one to deliver the final blow to his brother's wicked empire. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Tate deserves a second chance after this massive betrayal? How long will EJ get away with this sinister cover-up? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Chad DiMera channel. Stay passionate, stay dramatic, and I will see you all in the next video.